So you guys just met at the studio, like, just to vibe, and you guys came up with the song on the spot?
Yeah, but it's funny. I admitted this to him the other day. I was like, bro, I didn't think like you were vibing. Like I was like, yo, he probably hates me. Cause like, no, dude, tenía la máscara y todo, and I'm like, okay, I thought that was like maybe like the outside persona, but like. No hay nadie aquí. Like, there's literally no one
like
here.
You can take it off now. But
yeah,
like, it wasn't
so
a joke.
I did think. I was like, maybe he's just not vibing. Maybe he's having a day, So yeah, I remember leaving and being like, damn, man, I don't think he was vibing, and I felt so bummed. And I learned from Edgar, who's an incredible producer who's helping me like executive produce the album. He was like, dude, he was so nervous. I was like, you're lying. And he was like, yeah, he was super nervous. Like, you left. And he's like, la cagué, güey, la cagué. And I was like, no.
Right now with the intro.
That one. Okay, cool. Good to know.
Have you heard of our podcast before?
I have.
Oh.
Really? That's why you guys are here.
Oh,
I mean, not that I'm pretty involved in everything that I do, and I take a lot of pride in that. But it's tough sometimes when you're like doing a lot of things to do everything,
Mm-hmm.
So they'll send me like the list. I'm like, oh, what are you interested in? What do you want to do? And I was like, for sure, they gotta come through. So that's why I'm super thankful you guys came here though, because if not, we wouldn't have been able to make it happen. So yeah, of course. Yeah, no, for sure. Just don't put me on the spot. Okay?
Nah, we're good. It's gonna be a chill podcast.
Yeah. Do we need a?
did you press record? Yeah, press record.
Load testing.
Recording?
Test. Yeah, everything's
Becky's
move.
mic. Okay, am I on there?
That's what we do.
Hello?
We like Jason's mic.
Triple check.
Yeah.
That's the worst. When you're like, oh, I wasn't recording.
Oh, we
Andamos Agushto
had
Papa.
situations like that.
1, 2, and
Hey, you do the countdown for you. Let's get it. Let's get it.
Ready?
that was a whack ass clap, by the way.
Eh.
So bad.
Ready?
No, that was bad too.
Alright.
Vámonos.
Ya se me quitaron los nervios, eh. Vámonos.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Agushto Papa Podcast. Today we have a successful guest. Can I start over? No, you're nervous.
We have a successful.
And you know why I can't say successful? Because of him.
Wait,
Because
why?
he said successful. So
I have a stutter.
Oh, that's
Guys,
I was literally
2
talking
minutes
before you
into
came.
the show.
stutter.
It's okay. The intros
I'm
are
not
hard.
gonna lie. It reminds me. Did anybody else have somebody in the classroom that says scissors instead of scissors?
Oh yeah.
Was that you? Oh,
But they always make fun of me.
no, it's
No,
okay.
Because literally before you came, I told him I can't say successful. Because
Yeah, he was talking about it.
So I don't say
We all know what you're trying to say. That's how I feel. I empathize because I feel that way when I'm speaking Spanish.
Oh, no.
Are you no
Spanish.
sabo?
No, stop.
A veces sí y a veces no que.
Cuando
You
le
know,
conviene.
like- No, hell no.
Ocho.
Pocha for sure.
Ocho.
Pocha for sure. But I say pocha power, man. Spanglish is a language. In my head, in my mind, I dream in Spanglish. Like, the more I started speaking Spanish growing up, especially once I started making Spanish music, I remember waking up as like a young adult and being like, oh, I had a dream in Spanish. That's crazy. I was like, that means I'm like,
You're like from the
starting
root.
to think. Yeah, well, I'm starting to think more in Spanish. Porque a veces like me costaba to translate things.
Oh.
And when
Oh, yeah,
I'm tired,
Actually, a lot of people do that. Like they try to translate it into English, into Spanish, and Spanish into English, and then I feel like people mess up a lot like that.
no, totally. For sure.
Sometimes we
But
don't even realize what language we're talking in. We get him all
Yeah.
confused. Yeah, like earlier we were filming and he was like, oh, in Spanish. And I really thought I was saying in Spanish, but we were just all confused. Yeah.
All right, now I'm ready. I'm not nervous no more.
Okay, you're not nervous no more? Icebreaker. All right, let's try the intro one more time.
Vámonos. I feel like all that should stay in ads.
Yeah.
No, no, it's pretty
Yeah.
good.
And everything.
Just
Okay, great.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Agushto Papa Podcast. Today we have a special guest. She's a successful Mexican-American singer from Inglewood, California. Today we have Becky G.
Hey, hey.
Guys, we're super nervous, but before we get started, we brought you a gift.
Oh,
yeah.
Ricky,
Wait.
compa Ricky, jálate.
the regalito.
Oh,
Our
man.
one-
Shout out to my boy Ricky.
Oh, the one
A
man.
little gift from Agusto
Woman bang.
to you.
Becky G.
Oh, my
Brought
God.
you.
You guys got me some Buchona flowers. Wow. That's not going to be nice for audio.
Man.
Hey,
Damn,
ASMR.
beautiful. Thank you so much.
From the Agushto team to you.
Ah. Me gusta mucho.
There you go.
You're so beautiful. Thank you so much.
Yeah, we're trying to get a Rolls Royce, but didn't want to come in on time.
Wouldn't fit through the door.
I'm not really like that though, so
Yeah.
I appreciate
Talk
flowers.
to your team. They're like, she's not really like that. So.
She's like roses.
We're gonna bring some tacos, with the flowers.
See, now you're talking my language. I love that. Thank you guys so much.
But how are you
Okay.
today, Becky?
You wanna
Is
put
this,
the
I was
rose-
gonna say, is this gonna be annoying for you guys? Probably, right? Wait, don't drop them though. Not the upside down. Thank you so much. I'm gonna take them home. I'm good. I'm super good. I'm blessed. I am a little stressed. That rhymed. Just cause we're Coachella prepping. That's why if anybody hears any like doom 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 in the background, like
a lot
drills
going
and
on.
stuff, like the full action is happening out there. So
No, it's crazy.
Yeah.
We got
Yeah.
here like 2 hours ago.
Yeah, we walked in and we didn't really like think much like what to expect. We walked in and I saw maybe like 200 people, and that was like, oh, and they're like, oh, she's practicing.
half of it was my family.
for,
For real.
Like the mom invited the tia, the primo.
No, all
The
of
neighbors.
Yeah.
Okay, so today, the reason why there were so many people, one, it's actually the biggest crew of like employees I've ever had for a show. I am so proud that like the show has gotten this big, from my band, my dancers, all of the production crew, the stage hands, the people who help wire and build the stage. That's the drills in the background. Help with the set design, the props, the people who run all the electrical stuff through like the Ableton grid. So for the lighting and the audio guys, the camera guys. I mean, like it's the whole thing. So that's a big crew. And then today was the rehearsal of friends and family. So it's like the first time we perform the show for an audience, and you invite your friends and family to come and tell you what they really think.
Like you gotta be blunt. You can't lie.
Yeah, for real. But we didn't get too many notes, so I was very happy, very proud.
Yeah, we didn't know there was like so much production and like so much stuff that went into a show like that.
I feel like it was in a movie, huh?
Yeah. I mean, I expect like preparation and stuff, but it was like a whole different level.
I'm hot. I'm like.
Yeah, it's like calor.
Like I feel like I'm in a sauna. Like.
Oh my God! You can take your sweater off, man.
I know you're
Que se lo quite,
like,
que se lo
Que se lo quite, mucha ropa.
Hey,
Mucha ropa.
hey. He's like, no, we don't do free shows here. Okay. No, but yeah, you're right. It's not it's definitely not easy when you think about all of the things that kind of like the different categories of things that go into play when you're creating a show. It's super overwhelming, but nonetheless, like, so worth it. Like, it's so worth it.
What do you have planned for the show? What can people expect when they see you?
Any
Well,
special guests?
Yeah,
Yeah, man, we do. We have so many special, like, just, I think for me, everything has been so intentional. So the stage design is actually inspired by like a Mexican architect that I was kind of studying, just to kind of, I think, give a little bit of that representation in a not so obvious way. Like, there was a vision I originally had in my head, and I was like, y'all, like, we got to bring Becky from the block to the stage, and we could come out of the lowrider, and we could do this, and we could do that. And that was super dope, and I think that there's going to be a time and a place for that for sure. But I also feel like I've evolved, and I've grown as an artist, and I'm also, like, learning that our representation, like, we are who we are because we are who we are, not because we have to prove to anybody that we are enough this or enough that. And I feel like I didn't want it to be anything other than just so elevated and aesthetically just like chef's kiss, you know? Yeah. And so from the set design, like the literal stage that they built, to every song that we chose, it's a 45-minute set list. When you do festivals, they are so strict on like
Timing and stuff.
time, bro. And you know us, man. Like, we can be like, I like to talk to the crowd, and by the time I know it, time goes like this. And they can cut your set. Like, they'll just shut the music off and be like, tan tan, se acabó, bye.
Damn.
So we had to time everything so perfectly, and some songs didn't make the cut, and that made me so sad. I was so sad. But it only leaves room for, like, you know, one day when I actually do like my own proper tour, like, I get to kind of bring this quality into a much more intimate space and make it special and longer. But I feel really confident that the special moments that we were able to make happen for Coachella are gonna be all of that representation and more.
Can you say any like names for special guests?
Yeah, I mean, for special guests, I invited everybody. Like, I tell you, like, I was literally talking with my team and my cousin when we first got the call for Coachella. And I know we all joke about, like, oh, who's invited to the carne asada, you know? Like, who's going to be invited to the carne asada? And it was funny, the other day I was doing something for WWE. And I saw Benito. Obviously, Benito's going to be performing at Coachella. I was like, he's invited to the carne asada. I saw Snoop Dogg. I was like, hey, Tío Snoop, you know, you want to go to the carne asada? Like, everybody's invited. And I reached out to a lot of, like, my peers. I had even reached out to, I don't know if you guys know who J-Hope is. He's a dope artist, incredible artist, honestly. And he's part of, like a group called BTS. And shout out to the ARMY. And he unfortunately couldn't be a part of the show, so that was a bummer. I was like, man, gotta say some carne asada for my boy J-Hope. And then some other people did. They called me up and they're like, hey, I could be there. And I was like, let's go.
Please tell me you're gonna bring Peso Pluma.
Or J.O.P.
I mean, come on. Like, of course he's invited to the carne asada.
Yeah,
Like, how can you not? You know, I was actually at a show in Ontario. Yeah, so good.
We were there too. How come you didn't perform that day?
Dude, okay, so this is the stuff that I wish people knew about.
Yeah.
Because this has happened to me before. Even when I've invited people and they can't come on stage with me. But there's such thing as, it's called a radius clause in contracts. Mm-hmm. So because I'm contracted to do Coachella within a certain radius, quite literally, in the contract, it's a no performance clause. So like you can't perform on a stage. You can't sing or do, you have to like carve it out ahead of time and stuff. And obviously knowing that I was going to be doing Coachella, I was invited and I had a conversation with him. I was like, bro, I'm so sorry. Like, I'll come. And he was like, no, come on. Of course, you have to be there. So I was super happy to catch the show and see everybody singing the song. It had just came out, and to see that reaction was really dope.
No, it was crazy. Congrats on that song.
Thank you
It's
so
probably
much.
my favorite song right now.
Yeah?
My favorite song.
Yeah.
Okay, good vibes.
It's on the
We saw
playlist.
you.
It's on the playlist.
Yeah, we have a playlist with Spotify. And it's
Sick.
number one.
Yeah.
Oh,
The
I'm
first
gonna check
one.
that out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go back.
We saw you singing from your little balcony.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
I
And
felt
the point of that show, I was like, no, this is a part where she walks down and starts singing.
No,
Oh my
I
God.
thought you were just gonna
Imagine
like,
the
glide.
production. I just start flying.
Yeah, I was seeing him start gliding
It's
down.
like a
place for
little
them.
like jetpack, like for my sneakers.
That would be
Imagine.
No bungee jump or what?
Or everybody just carries me. I mean, I'm small enough. I could have crowd surfed my way over there.
Just
would've
builds
been
up the hype for when you guys finally perform the song
Oh
together.
no, for sure. I think honestly he's special, man. Like, I remember when we were in the studio and we were like just gonna like vibe like and hang out. Like, I don't like to put any pressure when it comes to collaborations because I feel like as an artist it's so easy for things to be so transactional.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like I'm learning so much working on my regional Mexican album from my peers. Like, I'm coming in as a fan first. I want to learn. I want to just learn from them and kind of see like what's the process like, because this is how I create, and I'd love to see other people in their magic, you know? And so yeah, and then one thing led to another, and then, you know, there's the guitar, and then I started coming up with a melody, and then he's like, this is the story I think we should do, and I'm like, okay, I like this is cool, it's a vibe. And then the song happened.
So you guys just met at the studio, just to vibe, and you guys came up with the song on the spot.
Yeah, but it's funny, I admitted this to him the other day. I was like, bro, I didn't think like you were vibing. Like, I was like, yo, he probably hates me. Cause like no, dude, tenía la máscara y todo, and I'm like, okay, I thought that was like maybe like the outside persona, but like no hay nadie aquí, like there's literally no one
Like
here.
you can take it off now. But
Yeah,
like it wasn't
so
a
I
joke.
did think I was like maybe he's just not vibing. Maybe he's having a day, you know. And obviously, being an artist, like it gets exhausting and stuff. So I was just like trying to like be mindful of that. But like, I don't know, like I like to vibe, you know. I like to talk with people, and like I said, it was more just to like hang out. So yeah, I remember leaving and being like, damn, man, I don't think he was vibing, and I felt so bummed. And I learned from Edgar, who's an incredible producer who's helping me like executive produce the album. He was like, dude, he was so nervous. I was like, you're lying. He was like, yeah, he was super nervous. Like, you left. And he's like, la cagué, güey, la cagué. And I was like, no.
Right now with the intro.
Oh my God, it was so funny. I was like, dude, that's how I felt when I left. So when I saw him again, It was really sweet. Like the whole thing was like, I think it was just one of those things where you're the anticipation, you're excited, you're you feel like admiration for this person and what they've done or what they're accomplishing, and so you forget that like they're a real person and they're in front of you. So yo lo vi con la máscara and like his chains and everything, and I was like, oh no. And then he probably just saw me and was like, this is a lot. This is a lot.
I think it's cool that you really try to do things organically to like get things flowing. And I feel like when things are flowing and the vibes are going is when good music is being created.
For sure. Yeah. And like, you know, it's crazy because like I look at songs like Mommy with Carol. Like me and Carol have known each other for so long. We could have done a song together a long time ago. And I remember I even, I had sent her like multiple songs and it was just like never the right time, never. And for me, it's like when it happens is when it's supposed to happen. You know what I mean? Like,
it's not forced.
Yeah, I just always say like Diosito's never late. You know what I mean? Like he
todo
just
su
never
tiempo,
late.
how
Exactly. Like my grandma says, si Dios quiere.
Si
And
Dios
I was
quiere.
like, yeah. Does your grandma say the same thing?
Yeah.
Mom? Yeah, same.
Like we'll make plans or something. She'll be like, oh, ahí nos vemos si Dios quiere, you know,
Of
like
course,
everything.
always.
Like the plan said, but like si Dios
Yeah.
quiere. Like
I was
it's the
like, what if he
Mexican
doesn't?
thing.
What if he doesn't want me to leave my bed today? Like, what if I could just sleep here all day and not have to go to misa? Like, that wouldn't be bad, right?
And how did the name Chanel come?
Okay, well,
Chanel.
yeah, it was honestly the lyric. It was the lyric in the second verse, and I just thought it was cool. It was a different name. It was actually a suggestion from someone on my team, Daniela, and she was like, I don't know, I think it's fire. I think it's cool to do something. I was like, that's it. Let's go.
That's
Chanel.
And then
Yes.
you mentioned earlier that you're dropping a Mexican regional album.
Yes. Yeah.
Can you talk to
I
us?
did want to bring up that I saw a picture with you, Edgar Barrero, and Ivan like 2 months
Yeah.
Yeah, a little while ago.
ago. So I'm assuming
Also hanging out.
Oh,
Also hanging out. Dude, I'm telling you, I've invited everybody to the studio. Like, I'm like, it's so exciting to me to be around other 200 percenters like me who are like, whatever, grew up here, like, but have Mexican roots or like really killing it in the regional space, but like speak Spanglish like me. And as I've been working on the project, it's always been an album that I wanted to create for many, many years now, since the beginning of my career. But it never felt like the right time. And when I lost my papi, my grandpa on my dad's side of the family, he's the first grandparent that, you know, transitioned his way into heaven. And for me, it was like the real catalyst of like, I've never been more proud of my last name in the history of it and the blood that runs through my veins. And I just feel like it's just always been, whether it was obvious to people or not, which to me it was, like I even look at like my rapping days and like the covers that I did, and like I was always rapping in some shape or form, but you know, a lot of people had a lot to say about that. And for me, it's like, it's not just in the way I look, you know, it's not just in the way that I speak Spanish, because I can't even tell you what my accent is. It's in the way that I work. It's in my passion. It's in my drive. It's in my will and you know, ability to make something out of nothing, because I'm not going to take any opportunity for granted. It's in the way that I like to share things with other people. You know, like that's part of our culture. Like that is part of the history that has made me who I am today, you know? And so I was like, I think it's time to make the album. I think it's time. And Edgar, you know, has always been in my corner. And we met each other many years back, and obviously he's very, very well accomplished, especially in the regional world. And I felt blessed that he was able to kind of like, I don't know, take me from the little manito and just be like, all right, let's do it. And so, yeah, we invited everybody. Like Yaritza came to vibe in the studio. Ivan, I had a Conexión Divina in the studio with me too. They were like serenading me. I was like, you guys are so special, man. Like, it's just so cool. It's such a vibe.
I think it's dope that you're making like you've made your impact in the reggaeton pop
urban.
the urban,
Yeah.
and then now you're getting more into this space, and you know you're finding the right elements to get your sound, and you know kind of accomplishing
the
of
right
your dream of
people.
making the album.
Yeah. I think it's like there's no right or wrong. Like when you're an artist, I think that's the hard thing. And maybe you guys feel like this as like content creators and like building businesses is like there's the only way is to grow through it. You know what I mean? There's no way over it, no way under it, no way around it. Like, you take shortcuts, it's not gonna last very long. And so you just kind of just gotta grow through it. And I feel like I started at such a young age and I jump so many genres that I consider myself a genreless artist. Like, si hoy quiero cantar, I don't know, a ranchera, then I'll do a ranchera. And if tomorrow I want to make música de perreo, like, I'll make música de perreo. And then I can do a Korean, Spanish, English song with someone like J-Hope. Like, why not? You know, like, to me, the sky is the limit. And I like pushing, you know, the boundaries and making people think a little bit more, and just to show everybody, like, first of all, for me, like, me da igual. Like, I'm just going to do what I want to do because I feel like I owe it to myself to live in my true, authentic, you know, artistry. And it took me, like, a lot to even get to that place to feel, like, confident to say that, because, like, there's some things that I do some people don't like. They don't fuck with it. You know what I mean? They'll be like, oh, that's a crest or da-da-da-da-da. And you're always going to hear something, you know? So I'm just going to make music that I fuck with. I want to make music that I really vibe with, you know?
I mean, it always ends up, like, connecting with your audience. And then I think the beauty about music is that it's subjective. There's no right or wrong. And then you could always cross it between genres, you know?
Totally, 100%.
It always ends up working out.
Yeah.
And what's the creative process behind, like, your music and everything?
I think it's always different. I mean, I'm somebody who I really believe in the power of collaboration. Like, I would not be where I am today if it weren't for, obviously, for my parents, but for, you know, the collaboration that happened within my four walls with my siblings, and, like, the way they inspire me, the way I get to inspire them, and then that transitioning into, you know, my profession. Like, my Nina Martha would always tell us as kids, like, sharing is caring. And so we would share everything, like, hand-me-down clothes, lick it and pass it, you know. There was only, like, we only have $5 to get the paletas. Like, we would all share it in the summer, you know, little things like that. And so when it came to, like, my professional career, like, I feel like my most magical moments were moments working with other songwriters, other producers, other artists. And so yeah, I would say, like, it really is a collaborative process. I used to think, like, people just, and some people do, like, they write songs all by themselves, and I'm like, that's cool, but, like, it's a vibe when you've got, like, different people in the room to kind of, like,
give ideas and stuff.
Especially without the pressure of, like, hey, you know, we have to come out with something out of here. And
well, especially today, I don't know if you guys feel this way, but, like, you have to, like, produce things, like, quickly.
Yeah, you gotta be in the moment and improvise. Sometimes.
Yeah, just, like, it's gotta come out.
Como salga, dice.
Yeah, which is, like, it's cool because it keeps us on our feet, right? And it lights, like, that fire under your ass to, like, do it. But I also think, like, we consume things so quickly today that, like, we don't really realize sometimes, like, the entitlement that comes with consuming things so quickly, because, like, it takes you guys effort to, like, make this. Like, I don't know, like, right?
No, it does. Full-time job.
Like, preparing, like, I do when I hosted a podcast. That it was hard, like, preparing questions, doing research. Like, you don't just show up.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
It's like making it look effortless. Like, that's the whole work.
Yeah, for sure.
Hey, we appreciate that you understand that, because it's crazy. I feel like
kudos to you guys, for sure.
A lot of people don't understand what happens, like, behind the cameras,
like
doors and everything.
No,
Like,
the
creative process, like, the work, the struggles you go through to become the person you guys are today. You know.
Yeah. No, and then the person in front of the camera is only, that's what I mean. There's a whole story behind that.
Yeah.
You know, you, like, never know what it took people to get to where they are. For sure.
I think the tip of the day is that you can't skip the process, you know? You just got to go through it and learn from every experience.
Yeah, man. It's so easy. It's so easy to want to, like
kind of make it, you know?
Yeah.
How they say?
I don't know. It's tough. I feel like social media has made things a little too accessible. It's made it too it lost, like, its feeling sometimes, you know? And sometimes it's, like, nice to, like, sit down and, like, actually have people in front of you. And I think I learned that after the pandemic.
Yeah.
You know, like, we get to, like, sit here and, like, be together and share in this moment, and that to me is, like, so special.
And what should we be expecting from you in the next few months, next year?
Well, Coachella. I'm, like, one track mind right now. I'm like, Coachella.
This Saturday, right?
Yeah. Friday. I said Saturday. Yeah.
How do you deal with that pressure,
Friday.
though?
How do I deal with the pressure?
Yeah, that's insane.
I'm just kidding. I'm not kidding, actually. It is part of, like, my little show ritual. like one little shot of tequila before I go on stage with my team. Get everybody nice and warm.
Eso es lo que faltó ahorita.
Yeah, for sure. But I always say only one. There's a lot of stairs. There's a lot of things.
Only one.
And I'm also really little, you know. Me aguanto a veces, but like I got a job to do, you know. But I like to like prepare, like pray with my team and everything, and it's super nice. But yeah, I think for me it's like the mental preparation. And I think I didn't really start tapping into like preparing for things. Like for instance, these next couple months, right? That's what you asked me. It was like Coachella, I was so focused on that. But like there's shows that we have after that are like more festivals. And so it's kind of like taking this show on the road and gearing up for that was like all I've been focused on.
Well, respect to you and your efforts.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, so people could see your show, and hopefully they could see like all the work behind it, because honestly I was shocked by how many people were here.
Thank you.
Yeah. My first thought was like everybody from Coachella's like here to, you know, like see their times or something like that. Yeah.
Like I said, half of it was my family, but
we want to send those positive vibes from LA, Orange County.
Yeah,
we
wish we could be there.
We wish we could be there
so much. No, I mean me too. Shit.
Well, we could be there. We didn't get invited.
We're working on it. We're still working on it.
Let me find out. We're gonna shoot an episode on stage.
We can.
We're waiting for Carlos to just come out with those tickets, huh?
Yeah, Carlos, huh?
He said he didn't hear.
But yeah,
not me. Now you guys got me on him. I'm over here like.
Yeah.
She got her no ass Becky.
I'm dead.
Yeah, but we wish you the best of luck with Coachella. We know that that's like your main priority right now.
Yeah.
Don't get nervous. We wish
Thank
and
don't
get nervous
I
like
won't
us.
walk off stage and be like, la cagué, güey, la cagué.
Yeah. But before we wrap up this podcast, is there anything you want to tell your fans?
Just thank you. I am so thankful for all you guys' support. Honestly, thank you guys so much for just supporting me throughout the journey. And yeah, the future looks bright. I look forward to the future and bringing you guys along in that journey. And stay tuned for more of the new music that's going to be coming out.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, once again, thank you, Becky. Stay tuned for the next episode. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Agushto Papa.
And comment down below if you guys want the full episode. Hopefully soon on Spotify when we're not so nervous.
I was gonna say that was a good outro. Good job. You got through it. Hey, love it.
He's gonna clip that up.
I'm never gonna watch my hand ever again.
Put it off.
Here, frame it.
Hey, this hand was founded by instead of Salinas. What is the bumper? The bumper was torn off by the tour bus of Salinas. Is gonna
Like
guys, history was made in this room.
We see Jason tomorrow.
I look red for Casa Mucho
What's up, guys? What's up?
All right, well, thank you for watching to the end. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. And
thank you guys.
Bye, guys. No, you guys did great. That was awesome. Thank you guys so much for waiting.
Probably like the most nervous I've been for a podcast.
Yeah,
really?
Yesterday we did our first live Q&A.
Yeah, it was in front of a lot of